In the blazing heart of America's Nevada desert, where only the strongest survive, one female Marine stands defiant against impossible odds. Her own brothers in arms have turned traitor, circling her like wolves. But they have no idea the storm that's already coming. His name is Ghost, and he's not just a dog. He's vengeance on four legs. If you love your mom and dad, the people who raised you to stand tall and fight for what's right, hit that subscribe button right now and show some love. Let's get into this. Sergeant Elena Ramirez grew up in a small town in Texas, the kind of place where Friday night lights burned brighter than the stars, and everyone knew the words to the national anthem by heart. Her father was a Vietnam vet who taught her to shoot straight and never back down from a bully. Her mother worked double shifts at the diner to keep food on the table. Elena enlisted the day she turned 18, determined to make them proud. Boot camp broke her body but forged her spirit. She rose fast, top of her class in marksmanship, hand-to-hand combat, leadership. Men twice her size learned quickly not to underestimate the 5'6" firecracker with eyes like steel. Her first deployment was to Helmand Province, Afghanistan, 2018. That's where she met Ghost. Officially designated MWD Nero, G274, a 90-pound Belgian Malinois/German Shepherd mix bred for war. He had already completed 2 tours, racking up more confirmed saves than most human soldiers. His handler had been killed by an IED 3 weeks before Elena arrived. The dog refused food, refused commands, just sat by the grave marker growling at anyone who came near. The kennel master was ready to retire him as unworkable. Elena saw something different. She sat outside his kennel for 3 straight days, talking softly, sharing her MRE beef stew. On the 4th morning, Ghost walked over and laid his head in her lap. From that moment, they were bonded deeper than blood. Together, they ran over 200 combat missions. Ghost detected dozens of IEDs, took down armed insurgents, dragged wounded Marines to safety under fire. Elena earned a Bronze Star with V-Device for carrying a wounded teammate 3 kilometers while Ghost held off flanking fighters. The press back home called them the Ghost and the Guardian. When their final tour ended in 2022, Elena fought the system tooth and nail to adopt him. She won. They came home heroes. Back stateside, Elena was assigned to a special training cadre at the Marine Corps Mountain Warfare Training Center. Her new squad was handpicked, 8 of the best operators in the Corps, or so command thought. Staff Sergeant Marcus Hale, the biggest and loudest, resented taking orders from a woman who outranked him only by a few months. Corporals Vance and Torres whispered about affirmative action promotions. Lance Corporal Reyes idolized Hale and followed his lead. The others stayed quiet, but the poison spread. Elena noticed the sidelong glances, the missed salutes, the way her suggestions in briefings were ignored. She reported it up the chain. Her commander told her to toughen up and earn their respect in the field. So she did, outrunning them, outshooting them, outplanning them in every exercise. That only made the resentment burn hotter. The breaking point came during a week-long field op in the remote Nevada Badlands. The mission was simple: survival and evasion training. No live ammo, no comms, just grit. On day 4, Elena sent Ghost on a wide perimeter sweep, standard procedure to check for enemy trackers. She stayed back to set up a deceptive camp. That's when Hale made his move. They came out of the rocks like jackals. Hale, Vance, Torres, Reyes, and 2 others she had thought were friends. All wearing the same green utility shirts and camo trousers, faces twisted with something darker than training aggression. Hale held a training knife, rubber blade, but the edge was filed sharp enough to cut deep. "Time to teach you your place, Ramirez," he growled. "You think you're better than us? Always showing off, always getting the glory." Vance spat on the ground. "Command's been asking questions about missing gear. Funny how it started when you showed up." The accusation hit like a gut punch. Theft. Sabotage. They were framing her. Elena backed up slowly, hands raised. "This is insane, Hale. Stand down. That's an order." He laughed, a cold, ugly sound. The others closed in. Reyes grabbed her arms from behind. Torres kicked her legs out. She hit the sand hard, tasting blood as Hale's boot pressed against her chest. "Who's gonna believe you now?" he sneered. "Out here, it's our word against yours. And you're about to have an accident." Hale knelt, wrapping his massive forearm around her throat in a rear choke. The world narrowed to the crush against her windpipe, the burn in her lungs, the jeering faces above her. She clawed at his arm, drove an elbow into his ribs, felt satisfaction when he grunted. But they piled on, knees pinning her legs, hands twisting her wrists. Blood from a split brow ran into her eyes. The sun beat down mercilessly. She managed one weak whistle, the emergency recall signal she and Ghost had drilled 1,000 times. The wind carried it away, or so she thought. The first sign something had changed was the sudden silence. The jeering stopped. Hale's grip loosened a fraction. Elena blinked through the blood and saw it, their eyes wide, faces pale, staring past her. Then she heard it, a low, rolling growl that raised every hair on her body. Ghost. He exploded from the dune crest like a black and tan missile, moving faster than any of them could track. 90 pounds of muscle and fury launched through the air, jaws open in a silent snarl until the last second. He hit Reyes square in the chest, slamming the man backward into the dirt with a choked scream. Ghost's teeth clamped on the arm that had held Elena, shaking viciously until bone cracked. Reyes howled. Chaos erupted. Vance swung a fist. Ghost released Reyes and pivoted, catching Vance's leg mid-kick and dragging him down. Torres fumbled for his training knife. Ghost released, spun, and charged. Torres backpedaled, tripped, went down hard with the dog on top, teeth snapping inches from his throat. Hale roared and lunged for Elena again, trying to reassert the choke. She rolled free, gasping, and drove her knee into his groin. He doubled over. The other two traitors bolted, but Ghost was already hurting them, cutting off escape routes with lightning-fast feints. Elena staggered to her feet, coughing, vision swimming. Ghost, Faz, she commanded in German. Hold. The dog froze, teeth bared over Torres's throat, waiting for her word. The fight was over in under 30 seconds. That's when the first twist hit. One of the men who had stayed back, Corporal Jackson, quiet guy from Oregon she barely knew, stepped forward with hands raised. Ramirez, don't shoot. I'm FBI. He slowly pulled a badge from his pocket. Undercover. We've been investigating corruption in procurement, missing weapons, gear sold on the black market. These idiots were the low-level muscle. I didn't know they were going to pull this today. Elena's mind reeled. Ghost growled low, sensing her confusion. Jackson continued quickly. Hale's been skimming for months. When you started asking questions, they panicked. I was trying to get evidence without blowing my cover. He kicked Hale's training knife away. We need to get these guys secured and call this in. But as they zip-tied the traitors, Hale laughed, a wet, broken sound. You think this stops with us, Ramirez? You have no idea how deep it goes. Blood bubbled at his lips. Check your precious commander's email. He's the one who greenlit selling those rifles to cartel contacts south of the border. We're just the fall guys. The second twist landed like a mortar round. Elena stared at Hale, then at Jackson. The FBI agent looked genuinely shocked. That's above my pay grade, he muttered. But if it's true, this goes all the way to battalion, maybe higher. Ghost pressed close to Elena's leg, warm and solid and real. She rested a shaking hand on his head, feeling his steady heartbeat. Whatever storm was coming, whatever corruption had infected the core she loved, she wasn't facing it alone. The fight in the desert was over. But the real war, for truth, for honor, for the soul of the institution that raised her, was just beginning. And with Ghost by her side, Elena Ramirez was ready to burn it all down if that's what it took to make it right. If this story of unbreakable loyalty, raw courage, and fighting corruption in America's military got your heart racing, then you know you need more. Smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join thousands of patriots who never miss a story. We've got real heroes, real war dogs, and real justice dropping every week. Be part of it. Now tell me, what state or part of this great country are you watching from right now? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one, and I can't wait to see where our community stands strong today. Semper Fi.